No one can tell how God works. His ways are very dark. God breaks in pieces the strong together with the weak, for he regards no man. A great terrace in the land of Judea held its tetrarch Herod in his merriment one evening, when the moon shone like a dead woman rising from the tomb. The party consisted of the tetrarch's wife, Herodias, Herod himself, and his stepdaughter, Salomé, whose beauty shone paler than the shadow of a white rose on a mirror of silver. Salomé sat alone, remarking how cold and chaste the moon shone, as if it were a piece of money or a virgin. She pondered why the tetrarch stared at her so, with his beady eyes. Salomé found it odd that the husband of her mother looked at her that way. Suddenly a voice cried out, "Rejoice not, O land of Palestine, the rod of him who smote thee is broken." Salomé was startled and wondered who had cried out. It was the voice of the young prophet, Yochanan, of whom the tetrarch was afraid and kept locked up, so that no one may speak to him. Salomé's curiosity brought her nearer to listen to this voice of doom. Yochanan spoke of Queen Herodias, crying out that she hath filled the earth with the wine of her iniquities. He spoke of the queen's affairs with the men of Egypt and the captains of Assyria. Salomé recoiled in horror, but could not look away from this man of the wilderness. She saw him as an ivory tower with lips of scarlet, a moonbeam with hair like clusters of black grapes from Edom. Salomé pleaded that she might touch the body of the prophet and kiss his mouth, but he rebuked her, calling her the daughter of Babylon. The tetrarch by now had consumed wine of 3 sorts, and sought out the beautiful Salomé, whom he had, in fact, been eyeing. He called after her, and asked that he might see the marks of her little teeth and fruit he offered. Herod called to her, beseeching that she dance for him. For this dance, the tetrarch offered Salomé up half his own kingdom in return. Swearing the tetrarch to this oath, a dance in return for any reward she desired, Salomé removed her dainty footwear, and began the infamous dance of the 7 veils. After the dance was complete, the tetrarch smiled with great pleasure, and bid Salomé to collect her royal fee. The princess hesitated not, and asked that she be brought the head of Yochanan, the only man to ever scorn her. Herodias was satisfied at her daughter's request for the death of the slanderous prophet. However, Herod became frightened, and pleaded that Salomé name a different price for her deadly dance. The tetrarch reminded Salomé of his abounding wealth, citing birds of the air and jewels of the earth. Herod implored Salomé to ask anything of him and his resources, save this one and only request. But Salomé did not waver, and demanded the head of the prophet for her ownership. The tetrarch delivered the death seal to the executioner, who descended into the cistern. There was a terrible silence, for Yochanan made no struggle for his life, and suddenly a great cloud descended over Judea, and covered the moon and the stars. Salomé received her gruesome prize and congratulated herself, for though Yochanan had refused her a kiss, the princess of Judea was still alive, and the young prophet's head was in her possession. Salomé kissed him, and bit his lips as one bites a ripe fruit. Upon seeing this vile act, Herod cursed his wife's daughter, and feared for her crime against some unknown god. He ordered her death, and fled from the ominous night sky. In the darkness, the guards descended upon Salomé and crushed her to death. No one can tell how God works. His ways are very dark. That the things which we call evil are good, and that the things which we call good are evil. God breaks in pieces the strong together with the weak, for he regards no man.